Can you speak to those who might be hesitant about the speed of vaccine development around COVID? I've heard this often from other people saying, well, they, developed this so quickly, how can we trust it?
I think, those concerns are quite, valid. I think vaccines have always been a very controversial topic, not only just COVID vaccination, but even for childhood vaccinations, there have been, a long standing concerns that some of those vaccinations may be responsible for some of the issues that we see in the children and even in the late adulthood. What we really want to get across is, again, taking that question apart, and there are multiple different aspects to it. One is the whole concept of, how we created the vaccine so quickly. We kept telling everyone when the pandemic started that it takes 5 to 10 years to develop a good vaccine, and now we have something in a year. So obviously that raises concerns amongst people. I think it's just a testament to how far the technology has come, right? In the past, we had to, isolate the protein and use that protein to develop the immune response. And what has been really unique about the COVID situation has been the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, both of which uses a new technology called the mRNA-based technology. And this is something that has been, developed over the past decade to decade and a half. And I would say this was a platform that was, perfected, just waiting for the right opportunity to come along. And the COVID situation really presented that. And even though it was, the speed with which this was developed is just because the technology has come along so much, and we can actually do that. And the second is the how fast the clinical trials have been done. And I think that speaks to the infrastructure that have been developed over the years to rapidly develop and implement a clinical trial. So the clinical trials, both Pfizer and Moderna trials had 40 to 50,000 people enrolled in a very quick pace. And with a community transmission that was happening at a very high rate, we could get these trials done in a very rapid manner. So the patients or the people who enrolled in this clinical trial, the fact that they were not getting infected could be determined in a much, much faster fashion than what we would have done in the past, with any of the other vaccines. So I think the technology is robust, the trials are very well conducted, and the endpoints in terms of efficacy has been very well, determined or very accurately determined. And given the size of these trials and the number of people who have been enrolled, I think we can feel fairly confident that the risk associated with these vaccines is pretty low. So, you can argue that, yes, what if the risk of a particular side effect is only 1 in 80,000, right? So maybe with the 40,000 people enrolled in the trial, they may not have adequate numbers of that. And that was certainly a concern when we started vaccinating. And, we just now, a couple of days ago, there was a publication that looked at almost like 63 million doses that have been given. And overall, the risk of vaccine-related side effects have been very, very minimal. But on the other hand, we all, heard about what could happen with some of those vaccines and the blood clots. And I think that even though, yes, it is a risk, it is a very, very small risk. And the fact that we were able to identify them right away, again, I think tells us that should there be rare side effects, we are going to find it. So, and we are going to figure out the mechanism why that side effects happened, and we're going to figure out how to avoid those things. So I think the information flow is so fast, and all the data related to vaccines and their side effects are being captured in a real-time fashion. We would immediately be aware of side effects should that happen.